Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. Now we are in the zone where GQ, DJ Jimmie Jaz will let us know how hip hop was back in the early years.
I know you gonna dig this.
Yep. So right now we got DJ Jimmie Jaz of hip hop's first original TV show, Graffiti Rock, on the scene with us. This is the Hardcore Citizens Network.
Right.
Jimmie Jaz, what up?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm out here. Weather's good. You here?
No
Works
doubt.
for me.
All right. So like one thing we want to do, and you came up in the early years of hip hop, so we want to like talk about that a little bit. Like right now we're sitting in Bronx River Projects.
Legendary Bronx River Project.
Legendary
where it
Bronx
all
River.
started. Actually, the culture started here. Now, the first original party, 520 Cedric Avenue, Cool Herc, Copeland Rock, that ignited and sparked the, the term hip hop based on how the event went down. How it became a culture is through the different art forms that played a part in the original party itself. The MCing, which happened to be Copeland Rock. You had some of the b-boy breaker dancers that were out there doing their thing. And Bambaataa, DJ Africa Bambaataa, from the home of hip hop, Bronx River, where we're at right now at this very moment, decided to put together all of the different elements as one. This is where we get the culture from. The term hip hop and the 5 elements in the culture.
Okay, now as far as these elements, were they like always separate at one point, and then it was Bam who went and got like say Crazy Legs and said, hey, come over and let's put the breakdancing with this.
Yeah.
So
Well, what happened initially was when that first party at 520 Cedric, Cool Herc, Copeland Rock, and his sister Cindy, because I think she was the one that, if I'm correct, organized the whole event. It sparked something within like different communities from people that actually went to that event. I believe, which was in August at some point in 1973. Bambaataa, along with Disco King Mario, the late Disco King Mario, rest in peace, they combined forces from Mario being from Bronxdale Projects, bringing his equipment over, and Africa Bambaataa and Mario combined forces, which gave extra, I would say, boost into what was going on in terms of like just the DJ and the MC, because you had the dancers and it all gelled together. Honestly, it all just gelled together. It wasn't like, all right, you guys need to do this and you guys need to do that. It was like no set agenda. Everyone just happened to be out there doing their thing, and the genius of Africa Bambaataa, of course, was to make it all one and unify all of the different elements that was going on around the DJ and the MC.
Okay.
So
Right.
that it played an integral role in the different parts of what was going on with the artists, because you had artists that were actually at the events, and more so in the indoor events where the artists would come through and tag up their pieces or whatever, the writers would do their thing. So it was like, there was a time when in this actual community center, the Bronx River Community Center, the legendary jams and so forth, writers would be tagging during the course of the event, the party. That was like the ultimate. It was like, you had like little sections of the actual gymnasium where you had people over here, focusing on what was going down with the writers. Then you had the breakers in the middle of the center of the floor. of the gymnasium floor. You know, myself and others on stage, you know, with the DJ, with turntables and so forth, and of course the MCs, and you know, and as you all well know, knowledge being the fifth element.
Okay, what was the atmosphere like mentally for?
It was.
We have the physical aspect now of the break-in and the DJing and then the graffiti, but how about the mental aspect and how everybody felt about the culture?
It was interesting. You know, my point of view is we all came together, and that was very important because, you know, it was during, you know, the early years. You know, of course, there was a lot of division. You know, different rivalries with the different housing developments and projects or whatever, however you want to label it. You know, the gangs, keeping it 100. It is what it is. That was going down and a lot of stuff like that. So it was kind of like, when the music came into play, the DJ came into play and the MC, everybody sort of like, you know, whatever animosity, not getting along with one another or so forth, everybody put that aside for the event. You know, not getting along with one another or so forth, everybody put that aside for the event. There was dudes that actually like wouldn't say a word to each other, but the night of the event, you could be like, yo, you know, especially complimenting someone on their dancing skill or what they was doing on the wheels, on the mic, you know,
We are in the Bronx River houses, and as some may know, planes do fly overhead.
Yeah, what up, y'all? What's good? You know what I'm saying? You're now checking out Hardcore Citizens Network with the original GQ DJ Jimmie Jaz of Graffiti Rock, baby. You know what it is.
So you got that right about the culture and what it meant to some people back then. Well, now we break it down to Bronx River Community Center and the stage.
Okay. So now getting back to like, I'm just trying to capture the mental culture mentality of building and comparing that to where we are today with it. So do you feel that we kind of fell off of how it was
I wouldn't
birthed
say
to be?
fell off. I just say a lot of like, you know, it's lost a lot of its roots. That's probably the best way to summarize it because, you know, when we were doing our thing, it was more about like, you know, we weren't really concerned about, it had nothing to do with, you know, money, you know,
Girls.
record deals, you know, well, the flossing always played a part in it, you know, with the gear, you know, that was a must, you know, flossing with the gear, you know what I'm saying, and the different individuals that were into, you know what I'm saying, their little jewelry or whatever. And that was cool in the gang. But in the beginning, it was all about how fly you were, the gear, and how well you executed your skills, whatever they happen to be. Whatever it happened to be, whether you were a writer, a dancer, a DJ, an MC, how well you exhibited and came across with your skill is what you were going to be known for and appreciated, or whatever you want to call it. Like people would look and say, oh, that's so-and-so, he did his thing that night or whatever that afternoon, like for example, at one of the outside events, which we're at right now. Like this stage right here, let me tell you, this is, and considered in the hip hop world, this stage right here is like holy ground. You know? I mean, you know, I'm keeping it 100. If you came here and got blessed to be on this stage and did your thing, I mean literally did your thing, you became a household name in throughout the 5 boroughs, without a doubt. And he even went on after a certain amount of years, it became nationwide, where if you did your thing here, it was being heard about on the West Coast and the South, you know what I'm saying, up north, you know, nationwide thing. But we, you know, keeping it on the early days, this was the place to be, because the reason I say this was the place to be, this stage right here and the indoor stage as well, were the place to be for the simple fact that once you came through here, you were given a platform to showcase whatever it is you were doing to a wide, vast audience. It was not limited to anything. Literally, we would have thousands of people in this entire project on any given night, depending, of course, you know, which act was coming through. You know, you had your early days when you had the Grand Wizard Theodore, the Fantastic Five, Grandmaster Flash, the Furious Five, the Cold Crush Brothers, DJ Charlie Chase, Tony Tone, and the Cold Crush Brothers. Let me see, DST, the Infinity Four. These were acts that were like more, that were considered, you know, at that time, those guys weren't even considered like just rappers. They were considered groups, like of our parents' generation. They had the Four Tops and the OJs and different ones of their time. Mm-hmm. These guys were considered, you know, more or less on that level, to be honest. And of course, our very own Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. But for the most part, Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic were the host of the other acts that came through. They were the host, you know. And, you know, Bam let me come through. I was a young cat, you know. Bam Let Me Shine, 1978.
So, what was your first fascination in hip-hop that made you say, I want to be a part of this culture or this music, whatever, this phenomenon that's starting to happen around my way? What happened to make you go, I want to be a part of this, and even influence you into being the DJ?
Oh, well, that's very simple. Of course, you know, it started in 73, and at that time, I was really, really young. I was pretty much around 8, if not, between 8 and 9 years old, whatever. But I would see the different parties going on, but at that time, I was really young, and of course, I could hear it and see it from the window, and all the people outside or whatever. But my first actual experience where I gravitated towards the culture and the whole phenomenon, what was, you know, going on and unveiling before our eyes, because it's literally history, was I came out one day on the other side of the community center, and Africa Bambaataa used to set up on the other side. This was in the early days, but before it even got to this point on the stage. Okay. It was mainly on the other side of the building. Bam was out there with Cool DJ D and Tyrone the Mixologist. Cool DJ Tyrone the Mixologist. They happened to be doing, it was one summer of 77, the infamous year of 77, Blackout, Son of Sam, all of that. I'm outside on the other side, and Tyrone, Cool DJ Tyrone, the mixologist, was scratching. You know, I'm observing and, you know, watching the guys playing music, and Cool D was doing his thing, because he was more or less the technician as well as the DJ, but he, you know, he was making sure the sound was on point. That's my boy Nate. Okay. He was, you know, he was out there with Tyrone the mixologist, Cool D, and basically what happened was I saw Tyrone the mixologist perform something I had never seen, or if I did see it before, never really focused on the actually what was happening. He was scratching, and he did a particular scratch, and he was playing Apache by the Incredible Bungo Band.